Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Is it Friday afternoon? Well, I am honored to follow three women talking about entrepreneurship and funding because I think we can all agree that it would be a beautiful future if more women were involved in entrepreneurship, more women were involved in funding, and we could see an equal gender balance in this important field of human endeavor. So let's give another big round of applause for our past panel. I don't see my slides, so that's going to be fun. Can someone? Now I see my slides. Okay, great. So I'll be talking today about the decade of change and innovation, and it's really starting now. And the question that I think everyone here can ask, which is, what can be? And I think that we can build a beautiful future of our making. And a case in point is having three women on stage at a tech conference talking about entrepreneurship and investing. And that's a sign of what can be. We can live in a world where the innovators of our time and the leaders of our time represent both sexes equally and share and succeed together, building something that we can be proud of. And many of you here are entrepreneurs, and some of you are aspiring entrepreneurs and investors. And I want to start with the thought that we make the future, okay? And that future starts now. It starts here in rooms like this, in your mind, in your heart, going forward. You are going to make the future. We are going to make the future, and we're all going to work together. And I impart upon you a small thought that if you're upset about something or you want to see something be more beautiful, be the change that you want to be in the world. Don't wait for it to come to you from outside. Start that change right now with you, right here, whether it be not throwing away one of the cups that you take to get water or being more conscious in how you consume. Start that change right now. And I'm going to tell you what I see as a vision for the future, and maybe it's something that you can share in and use for yourself. Then I'll go over some of the things that I am personally doing to make that future beautiful, and I'll leave you with some thoughts on things that you can do to make the future more beautiful. So from my vantage point, and we operate in over 200 cities around the world, I see people awakening in every city, in every country, everywhere in the world, every continent, literally everywhere. And awakened leaders are starting to articulate beautiful visions of the future, things that you can be proud of. And then inspired believers in those visions are coming together to create those visions as reality in the world today. And I would say that many of the startups in the different rooms around here, whether it be the electric bike company or any of the others that are here today, are trying to bring those beautiful visions into reality right now. And then those inspiring visions for better ways that we can live are encouraging other people to awaken, and they're encouraging other people to start on a journey of self-awareness and healing, and that's spreading today in the first stages all around the world. And this is the beginning of a grand human awakening, something that we can all be proud of, that I, myself, my friends, my family members are starting to be more conscious in their actions and really work on things that matter. And as a result of that, industries of change are starting to flourish all over the planet. Changes for the better, changes that we all think need to happen. They are starting right now. And I am confident that as a result of this initiative that's beginning here in rooms like this around the world, we will realize the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals by their target in 2030. And we can be proud of the world that we live in, finally, proud of how we live, proud of the work that we do, proud of the industries that we've collectively created. And then we'll tend to the Garden of Eden that is this planet to make it really thrive and beautiful and cease polluting our waters and producing a lot of waste that's unnecessary, but producing things that make everything more beautiful. And so life in all forms on this planet will start to flourish again, and the power of the human creative energy will flow, not only here on this planet, but in space, in the universe, and beyond. And so that's what inspires me, and that's the vision I want to share with you. So what am I doing about it? Well, first, I think that 2020 is a pivotal year where we need to bring the startup world into alignment to work on things that matter, so that in 2030, as I mentioned, we hit these 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. And if you haven't seen them and you don't know what they are, I recommend you take a look at them now. You can go and actually click on each one, and there's more detail. And honestly, they're a beautiful roadmap for the future. For many years, I was on the board of the X Prize Foundation, and I encouraged the X Prize to move beyond space into other fields. And we looked at all sorts of things to make the world more beautiful. And I can tell you, as someone who's been working on this for many, many years, decades, this list of 17 things is a great starting point for us to be proud of our planet, of our industries, and of the human contribution to beauty. So in terms of the things that I'm personally working on, I feel a calling to lead, right? And it's important that you try to understand your own calling, and in my case, it was a calling to lead. I feel that I'm ready to answer the call. It's taken me a long time and a lot of self-work to get to the point where I can stand here and comfortably tell you that I'm ready. And I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years, and I've been working on the field of entrepreneurship for 13 years. And I believe that that is where the change we need to see will come. It will come from entrepreneurs. Big companies and governments are looking for solutions, right? We need to make those solutions, and then they will adopt them, and the world will change. So I focus personally at the start of entrepreneurial journeys, at the very vulnerable beginning, when every decision that you make can be a deadly decision. And I try to help entrepreneurs make the right decisions at that phase so that they survive, thrive, and eventually make the world more beautiful. We operate programs in over 200 cities around the world, and we're launching over 4 new cities per week. Just last week, we launched Riyadh and Jerusalem, and there's a lot of work to be done in those regions of the world to inspire people so that they can have ecosystems that resemble what you have here in Estonia. And we're launching well over 1,000 new businesses from these efforts every year. Many of them are important. But what I want to do is start help people to think about what impact that they can have on the planet, what positive contribution that they can make. So we've taken an effort to define what an impact company is, and I want to encourage 80% of all the startups, and certainly 80% of the startups that we help to launch, to be working on something that has a positive impact for the planet and for the world. We're setting up hubs to collect impact around climate change, around female entrepreneurship, and other critical areas that need innovation today. And we're going to be launching over the next 5 years 1,000 early stage venture funds in every corner of the planet to support people like you on your journey to make the world more beautiful, with capital, with advice, and with support at those vital early stages of your growth. And so again, we are this year starting to bring everything in alignment so that vision can become reality. Now I want to give you some advice that might help you in the journey. And the first thing that I would say is that you make reality, okay? You are not a victim of the world around you. You make reality, and it's every decision that you make, no matter how small or big, that affects the reality around you. So I ask you to be conscious of your thoughts first and foremost, conscious that you're doing something positive, conscious that you're thinking about something positive, conscious that you're doing something meaningful, and everything around you will start to change. The world around you changes first with you. And I encourage you to manifest beauty in the world. And so I do a lot of manifestation exercises where I set a vision for my life in a few months' time. I turn that vision into a series of projects and break that down into actions. And then I put it away. I write it down, I put it away. And in 2, 3, or 4 months' time, always those things become reality. And so you can manifest the reality that you want. If you're unhappy with your situation, think what will make you happy. If you don't like what you're doing, think about what you want to do. And I promise you, it will come true. And you don't even need to work on it consciously. You just need to be aware of it. And start a process of healing, right? I look around the world today and I see a lot of trauma, I see a lot of mind-led businesses, and I see a lot of unconscious behavior. I encourage you, work on the traumas that affect your life, okay? Lead with your heart, okay? And be conscious of the actions that you're doing and the impact that those actions have on the world. Because if you start working on yourself, everything around you will improve as well. And then find your passion. And this can be very tricky, but I'll give you a simple tip on how to do it. If you find yourself interested in something, ask yourself why. And go through what I call the recursive why question. Well, why am I interested in doing this? Well, it's because of this. Well, why am I interested in this second thing? Well, it's because of this. And if you can't get to the point where you have a really deep and meaningful answer, when you've asked yourself why a few separate times in sequence, then you should probably rethink what you're doing until you can go through that recursive why exercise and work on something that matters. And it doesn't necessarily need to matter to everyone. It needs to matter to you. And once you have that passion, start forging your beliefs. What do you believe in? What do you care about? What are your values? And then that, again, will manifest in the world around you, because belief is the new currency of success, okay? If you get your team to believe, if you get your investors to believe, partners to believe, etc., then everything flows from there, and you're going to be recruiting these believers into your vision to make the world more beautiful, to live a purpose-driven life, and to do something that matters, right? Because people will look to you to be the steward of those beliefs and values in the business, and it's very important that you have them yourself centered and clear so that you can lead your business, you can lead the future to a place that you want to go. And then you can change the entire world. And I see entrepreneurs do this all the time. And the best way to do it is by not compromising on anything. And the investor panel before, they were talking about the early investors and the ability to make compromises with some of those investors. And they recommended not to, and I strongly support that view, that you really should not compromise, especially when it comes to your values and beliefs and the people that work with you. Because if you can stay true to who you are and what you're trying to do, anything is possible. And the world can be as beautiful as you can imagine, as we can imagine. And I see this happen all the time. So what I would like to do is give you some things, some ways at least that we can collaborate to make this reality together. If you're looking to heal, I encourage you to start now. You are the foundation of a beautiful world. And at these events, it can be an insecure time, trying to prove yourself, trying to find customers. And entrepreneurship is a really hard journey. But I can tell you that spending one moment of time on yourself will pay massive amounts of dividends with the success of your business, the success of your life, the success of your family. For it's only as someone who is truly in a good space, personally, that you can do great in the world. So take the time, and there are many different modalities, many different ways to get started. If you're looking to start a company and you're not sure where to go, we operate in, again, hundreds of cities around the world, and we are here to help. I encourage you, join one of our programs. I've met amazing accelerators and incubators in Tartu, Tallinn, Estonia, all throughout this trip. There's so many people here to help you. Take a step to get some help, because as I said earlier, there are a lot of decisions in the very, very early stages that have deadly outcomes to your business, and you may not have the experience or knowledge on how to navigate those, but there's so many people that want to help you, because so many of us understand how important startups are to the future of humanity right now. If you're looking to help others and you're not sure how, we set up new cities all around the world. Again, launching over 4 per week. I encourage you, talk with us. We'll help you set up something in your city, but lots of things are needed. Set up a co-working space. Offer to mentor. There's so many ways that you can help. So if you want to help, find a way to help, because new entrepreneurs need as much help as possible. Experienced entrepreneurs need as much help as possible. If we're going to take the world and make it into the beautiful thing that we see possible, we all need to contribute. And just like spending time on yourself, helping someone else is so important to the success of companies and startup ecosystems. The reason Silicon Valley is the top startup ecosystem in the world is no one is too busy to help someone else that asks. So I encourage, if you need help, to ask, if you can offer help, to give, and this will really allow Tallinn and the region and Tartu to grow as startup ecosystems and become as vibrant as some of the most vibrant places on the planet. It starts with helping one another. And if you're looking to launch a fund to help provide capital, we have a program that we're launching in February to help launch these 1,000 venture capital funds. You can come to me. If you don't want to go into this, these programs are free. If you don't want to do that, just ask another investor. A lot of investors can be persnickety, but again, we need to help as much capital as possible get unlocked and in the hands of the innovators, the right innovators with the right guidance to do beautiful things. So don't be shy, ask if you need. The startup world is going to change the overall state of humanity and the overall future of humanity. And again, it starts in rooms like this, everywhere around the world. So I am very honored to be here examining the question of what can be, and I can tell you, I see this clearly. We will build a beautiful future that we have made. And so thank you very much, and have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.